Welcome back to another Canon Black Lightning recap. Today we're doing episode 2, Lawanda, the Book of Hope. Man, this show is coming out with a bang. I'm really enjoying Black Lightning so far. This episode gave us a lot more of the flavor we got from the first one, and it really took another step as you started seeing some really gritty things that I wasn't sure that the episode was going to touch on in your face. I thought there'd be more overt about it, but it definitely got in your face with some gritty stuff. So, to start off with some negatives, I think the whole dynamic of the community and the cops being that inept, which you see a lot with these type of shows, the cops just can't do anything correctly. And it seems a little unbelievable. I mean, in real life, we know they don't always catch people, but it just seems like the cops are so terrible at their job. And that bothers me a little bit. I mean, because we center this around Lawanda, who's a mother who also has her daughter caught up with Lala. And they know she's going to die. She's at a known, place of business for the gang. Not only recording stuff, but getting in people's face. It was like, there was no tension of, oh man, she might die. It was like a guarantee, like, yes, you're going to die. You running up in people's face, recording them and everything. And so that was a little annoying and a little hard to believe. Like, you were just asking to get killed. I mean, because even if you were just trying to draw attention to it, the bad guys can't have you putting them on videotape doing stuff. Like, they're going to kill you, like, one way or the other. If you going all the way through the trouble to have somebody go to Jefferson Pierce's house while the cops are watching just to scare her, of course they're going to kill you with nobody out there. So the cops just left her there. And I don't know, that was weird. So that was one of the real big negatives. And I don't remember the name, but the ex-wife of Jefferson Pierce and the mother of the daughters, she's so selfish. Like, I get the first episode, I understood where she was coming from, but when it's escalating to this point and you have to protect your daughters for a second time in a row, and then you see people's other daughters getting killed, you see the streets are deteriorating. And you want to sit here and tell this dude that he's addicted to his powers and addicted to being the hero? Are you kidding me? This man, as far as we know, there's no one else in this whole entire world with powers. And so you're going to tell a miracle not to use his gift? Are you, like, she's going beyond the point of, like, just trying to keep her family together to just plain selfish, and just shuts completely down whenever he entertains being Black Lightning. And I was okay with it one episode. This episode is past the line. And it almost feels like, to me, I feel like she could end up being a villain because she just doesn't make sense. Like, she's trying to stop him, and I don't get it. But other than that, it was just a lot of positives. I like Lala. I was wondering how I was going to like him. I think they show him a little more well-rounded this episode. Not that he isn't anything but bad, but, you know, they showed him out there with the homies. They showed him kind of really doing things and why he run things. So I like that. I'm glad they killed Will. I was really scared that he was going to be a plot point throughout the season. They killed him. I'm glad they killed Lala, too, to be honest, because once Whale punked him, and, like, pretty much say he didn't trust him, it was like a moment. It was like, how long are you gonna let him stay out there if you don't trust him? So that they had to kill Lala to show that Whale is a real threat. So that was nice that they wrapped him and Will up, and they weren't gonna every week, oh, they kidnap your daughters or they keep messing with my daughters. I'm glad that stuff is done. And then, yeah, I mean, Cress Williams found a groove this episode. He was great, but I just like the conundrums they put out there. And it was real. It was like, okay, you go and get yourself killed, Lawanda, and she shouldn't have been there. But she says, well, if Black Lightning didn't save your daughters, would you do anything but die for them? And I'm like, hey, she got a point. And she said earlier, why did Black Lightning only save your daughters and leave everybody else's there? But then on the other side, the cops are saying like, look, they got these girls' minds and their bodies. If we get them out, they're going to just say they was there on their own will. Which, at the same time, prostitution is still prostitution, so why they not in jail? But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So it was a catch-22, and that's what it is. This show, I like it a lot. It hits home sometimes. Working in the high school, working in that system, living in these type of communities, it hits home with this show because everything's a catch-22. It's like if you darn if you do, you darn if you don't. How do you fix this systemic problem that's been ingrained into our society for so long? And you have to have somebody with superpowers because the real world, we can't figure it out. So somebody with superpowers can completely change the mindset of everybody. And so we need Black Lightning. We barely saw him this episode, but Jefferson comes to the decision to bring Black Lightning back. He tells his ex-wife, look, you said this was God's gift and I'm going to use it. And so we get a lot of culmination with him reconciling that he's going to be Black Lightning. And I love the dynamic of his partner fighting with his ex-wife. And she was like, you're saying like, I'm the problem. You are the problem. You part of the reason the streets is messed up because you took away Black Lightning. Just the same way you think I'm part of the problem of making him addicted. We don't see eye to eye on this. So that was good. It's just a lot of good stuff. The daughters, now the older daughter, I heard she was going to be a lesbian, so they brought that in. I don't think it's a gimmick. It's very much a part of our society. And as much as it's not talked about, it's very part of the Black society and culture. So, I mean, just like any other culture, that those relationships are out there. Now, how the parents are just laissez-faire about it and they don't even know her, I don't really buy that. But, I thought it was a nice little dynamic to it. And then she's got somebody to confide in because she does a lot, like grad school or whatever while she's teaching. Like, come on, seriously? So she's she's a really upstanding citizen. And so she has to have somebody to unwind with she tells her about these powers that she might think she has. So that was a good side. I don't like the younger daughter. She just off the rails. Like, I'm not following her storyline. She has a best friend that's like probably the hot guy at school, and then all of a sudden, hey, I want you to be my girl. Okay. And then she drinking and getting drunk at school. And so she's supposed to be, this whole thing shook up my life, so I'm going to just ruin my life instead. Like, that don't make no sense. I don't know. I don't like her, but it's a lot of dynamics to this episode or to this season so far. And I'm really enjoying all the side characters. I'm enjoying the villain. I'm enjoying the hero, of course. So it's all working together. Now, how it's going to work when the daughters get powers, I think that's going to be a little weird, but I'm enjoying the build up to it so far. I'm glad they didn't just give it to us. So it's been 2 episodes, but it feels like half a season. I feel like we got so much, but I'm really enjoying this, man. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 lightning bolts. Thankfully, because the Flash was terrible this week. So Black Lightning is starting off really, really strong. Going forward, it looks like we're going to get I want to say that's Jill Scott, her villain. It seems like with Lala out of the picture, there's going to be other people stepping up. And then eventually, we know that Well and Black Lightning got a pass. So eventually they're going to figure out that those two, are still around and they're going to come to head. So excited, man. But go to the comment section. Tell me what you think. Are you excited? Are you liking Black Lightning? Let me know what you think is going to happen next week. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around. And if you heard it, it's official canon.